Now we're at your actual superintendent's report.
Sure you don't want to talk about the 2011 budget?
We did.
Joking.
That was just,
Sorry.
I saw the tongue in cheek.
That's right.
It's a monster.
On March 18th, at the Commissioners Forum for Rhode Island Superintendents, it was a RISA, Rhode Island Superintendents Association meeting, that the superintendent had two people from RIDE come to talk to us about, or give us an update on the teacher evaluation model. They've been flooded with questions from all of us about it. And the information that they provided at the meeting was that the Rhode Island model for teacher evaluation will be implemented September 2011. A model evaluation system will be developed by RIDE based on the standards and the scoring rubric, which they say already exists. They went out looking at all state models across the nation, and there wasn't one of them that met Rhode Island standards. So it doesn't make sense for us to look at other models because it won't pass muster.
Oh my God.
The districts will not be required to adopt this model that they're going to put out. But any model that anyone wants to develop will have to be submitted, and they will make the decision about if it meets the standards or not.
And who determines these standards? GIST?
The standards were approved by the Board of Regents.
Right, and it says these already exist, so we
Yes.
could go ahead with our own evaluation thing and not wait
We've
for
had them for a while.
Right,
Frankly, developing
yeah.
this kind of thing.
I know we were hoping that the state would
You know,
put out its model, but if they're not going to do it for another
little
year.
districts like us, and I've talked to my colleagues in, Exeter, West Greenwich, and other districts in the area, developing something
Sorry.
from scratch is huge. So
Especially
let's
if nobody in the
see what
country
this
has done
model
it
is and see,
Yeah, we could be the
if there are
first.
things that we don't like about it, can we use that as a starting
Yeah.
point? That's my thinking of it.
Right.
And then, submit that.
It's gonna be available next year for, it's gonna be available to look at, review,
Yeah.
Because they're gonna
work
start,
with.
they're gonna
because
start
it's
training.
Implemented September.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Mhm.
training people next year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's see, the vision is that over 3 years, after 3 years, the evaluation will be based on 51% of the evaluation will be based on data. That link educator effectiveness to student achievement. They did say that there'll be several data points, that there isn't just going to be kneecap, and they're thinking about this data informing compensation, it also informing recertification, teacher assignments, etc. So they gave some examples of the developmental reading assessment, which is an early childhood, early reading assessment before kids would be taking kneecap, but they said AP scores might be possible data, survey results, student and parent survey results. They haven't worked all this out. Of course, there are questions about, well, what about, sort of the, let's say, other than classroom teachers. How are you going to, what are you going to do about art, or music, or PE,
No, we're
or
already-
the school psychologist, or,
Everybody's planning to read anyway.
everybody, they're going to come up with some data for everybody. And that would be for administrators as well, 51% on data related to effectiveness, and the rest on leadership. So this is going to affect everybody. They said that their goal is that no student will have an ineffective teacher for 2 consecutive years. Teachers, there are some cases where teachers are doing evaluating of other teachers. So in the case of department heads, or they wouldn't be the sole evaluators. They might participate, but they wouldn't be doing that on their own, is what we were told. And then they talked about administrator evaluations again. They're coming up with that model as well. You're going to have a symposium on evaluation on the 29th of April, and they're requesting that they've got some experts coming in to talk about evaluation with
From a
relation
different
to the
state?
model. Yeah. Oh.
An inferior.
Yeah, actually, Alan Roden is considered quite,
Wisconsin.
quite an expert, but he's written several books on evaluation. But they want the finance director to go. I'm not sure why on that. A union representative, and I should talk to our union co-presidents about attending, and the principals to come along with the superintendents to that symposium. And then on the 27th, they're going to sponsor another symposium on compensation structures tied to evaluation and
Seems like
teacher
that's where you want
effectiveness.
finance person.
Unless I misunderstood, I'll check into that. And they didn't say who they wanted at this second. But they're planning on, on getting this whole thing kick-started. I think this meeting was before this announcement from this that she's not getting the money.
Yeah.
Or she's not anticipating getting the money, so we'll see how all of this is going to get funded and move ahead. We were also told that they're developing a statewide mentoring program. Now we have a mentoring program here, so all that's changing. Another big change that they told us about is I-plans, which are the plan by which educators in the state, all certified educators, choose goals, and then they do professional development training related to those goals, and you have to submit all this to RIDE. And when your certification comes due, you submit it all, and if you've done what you're supposed to do, you get a 5-year recertification. Anyone whose certification is expiring this year still has that option, but it ends as of August 31st. After that, they will be issuing some 1-year recertification until they come up with the new plan of how they're going to tie effectiveness in with recertification.
They say we got continuance of recertification.
It won't be just seat time in professional development. It will be the effectiveness of their use of the professional development with respect to student achievement. So I pass this information on to Marilyn Hostetler as our mentor coordinator and helps everyone with their outplan, et cetera. So there are a lot of changes in the...
Well, that's just usual. For teachers, that's enormous. And then for administrators, that's enormous.
I mean, it was a convoluted plan.
It's not even close to convoluted. Calamitous. Calamitous.
Yeah, but I can go on. And I'm so glad that I never submitted mine. So I've been tinkering with it, but the problem was you had to set like 3 goals, and then only those things that of professional development that you did that were directly related to those goals counted. Well, I mean, the realm of a superintendent's responsibility in keeping informed and on top of so many things, it was very hard to craft goals that were
I
going
think I
to
mentioned this to one of your colleagues
So I
today.
just haven't done it yet.
Your I-plan works like this. You're doing a great job, you have a job. You're not doing a great job, you're fired. I mean, that's the I-plan for superintendents. That's all there is to it. Now, for teachers, it's a little different, and for principals, perhaps. But that's the insanity of this program is just exemplified. If you have the paper as a superintendent, you've been there, you've done that, we expect you to know your stuff.
And you better stand.
Yeah, exactly. And you do.
Well, the plan is 5 years, and for mine, I'm getting 3 additional certifications in the 5 years. I didn't intend on that, it's just kind of the way my path went, so my goals were, it just it doesn't really highlight what you've
fit
done.
reality of what made sense. And the commissioner said she heard that when she went, to every district in the state, and she listened to that, and that was one of the first things she told us, don't hang your hat on I-plans, because I don't think we're going to stick around. She was right. Okay, the next thing is that when we went to the town council meeting that we were invited to, and the taxpayer group was there, those of us that attended heard the audit, and the audit was for the whole town's finances. The school's was part of that. We've given you the whole report, and if you please look that over. If you would like us to ask the auditor to come and specifically explain to you the school part, you can do that. If you think you have the information you need, then and